How's it going? Brooklyn John with you here once again at the Fortress of Solitude high atop the Strapworks.com Global Industrial Plaza. Hope you're having a great day. Have I got a treat for you today? So let's say you've ordered some webbing from Strapworks.com, as many people do every single day. You get it home, and now you're like, okay, how do I make a strap out of it? First thing you got to do is cut it. Well, a lot of people are forced to use a pair of scissors and a little match or something like that to seal the end, but oh no, if you've got a lot of webbing to cut, that's not going to work. Tom Foster, our owner and gadget guru, is here to show you the Junior Hot Cutter today. And it's going to solve a lot of your problems. Tom?
Thanks, John. Hi everybody, this is Tom from Strapworks. What we're doing today, nice and quiet here in the factory, so we thought we would show you exactly how to set up and use our Junior Hot Cutter. First thing, you're going to receive it in a nice neat box, priority mail. We're going to open it up. You've got your cutting blade and you have your main unit. Now the main unit comes with the screws pre-mounted. The lower ones here are typically fairly tight, but it is important that these screws be tight for proper operation. By the way, you can use a standard tip or a Phillips drive screwdriver. So you'll want to put this in here and just make sure that you've got it nice and tight. This one, there we go, that's tight. That took almost a full unit. Now by the way, you want to hold this while you're doing that so that your post does not warp. The top one you'll have to loosen to get the blade in. The Junior Hot Cutter comes with a single blade. You can buy replacement blades, but if you use this properly, it will actually be quite a long time before you'll have to be thinking about a replacement blade. So this needs to go in to where it goes all the way down. Make sure these screws are backed out enough to make it go down. Then we're going to tighten these upper screws. Again, you want to hold the block. First one side, then the other. Your Junior Hot Cutter is now ready for plug and play. Okay, watch what happens when we turn it on for the very first time. It's going to heat up, and you'll see the smoke coming off the blade right off the bat. These are oils that are on the blade that have been put on there for keeping it from corroding during shipment. Don't worry about that. Obviously it burned off pretty quickly. Now you're going to notice that the blade is starting to turn red. In the middle of the blade, it's very important that you understand that. The middle of the blade is the very hottest, about 1200 degrees. I don't want to get my fingers too close. Okay, as this heats up, you're obviously ready to go. I'm going to bring in one of my older machines now and show you how that works. Okay, what we're going to demonstrate today are most of our different webbings. We do have our heavyweight polypropylene in 1 inch. We also have a heavyweight polypropylene in 4 inch. Since this is a 2-inch blade, I'm going to demonstrate the technique for cutting the wider webbings. We have our nylon, probably our most common material. We have our 2-inch sublimated polyester webbing. We have a 2-inch 10K sublimated webbing, very, very heavy-duty webbing. And finally, probably one of our most difficult challenges, our scuba webbing. Very stiff webbing, very thick webbing, kind of a challenge to cut in any fashion. All right, we have one of our more heavily used units here. You can see that it's been messed up from slag and what have you. It is heating up right now. It's getting pretty warm. You'll see a little glow right in the center. We're going to start from our easiest webbing and move on up. This is our 1-inch heavyweight polypropylene. You want to let the blade do the cutting. Just a very light pressure on the material will get it to take care of what you're doing. If you lean on it It will still work with this type of material, but heavier materials can damage the blade, challenge the machine. Let this do the work. Let's move on to our nylon. A little more difficult. Again, let the blade do the work. You want to have a relatively light touch pulling it through. Okay, now you might be thinking to yourself, that's great, it's sealed on one side, what about the other? You can always come back, wipe it across the blade. Now you have a very effective seal on both sides. Another way of accomplishing that is to score it on one side, then allow it to cut through on the other side. Now you have heat sealed on both sides of the unit. Let's go over here to our 4-inch heavyweight polypropylene. Obviously a little too wide for the blade. So what we're going to do here is start, and remember, your hottest part is in the middle. So start cutting in the middle of the blade and follow one of the woven ribs as you just let it go right on through. So very easy to cut a relatively straight line if you follow the ribs along the webbing. So remember, the center of your blade is the hottest. Concentrate your cutting efforts in that area. Now we'll move on to our 2-inch sublimated polyester. Again, even with 2-inch, let's do 2-inch across the whole blade. Well, this blade is working fantastic today, but nevertheless, you still really want to concentrate in the middle and let it do its work there. Moving up the ladder in difficulty, we've got our 12K. Okay, not instant. This is not like cutting butter with a hot knife. This is cutting webbing with a hot knife. It takes a little more time. Now to our scuba. Across the whole blade, taking quite a bit of time. Don't try to ramrod it through. Let the blade do the cutting. Don't be afraid to use the whole blade. That's okay. But it just takes a little longer. See all the smoke that's coming off of this? This is at least as bad as smoking, if not worse. So make certain that you have a well-ventilated area. You can do this outdoors. You can do it with a fan blowing across your shoulders or across your body, but you want to make sure that you're not breathing these fumes on a regular basis. Our cutters have the benefit of a downdraft fan, so they can cut here all day long and not be exposed to these toxic cutting fumes. Brooklyn John reminded me that while the fumes that we are creating while we're cutting it are toxic, the webbing itself is inert. You don't necessarily want to eat it. It's the wrong kind of roughage to be putting in your diet, but you could if you wanted to, and it wouldn't hurt you. Okay, so wrapping up. Those of you that are making leashes, collars, tie-down straps, your business is starting to grow, you're tired of cutting with scissors, using a lighter or matches to seal it, the Junior Hot Cutter is definitely the way to go. It is a relatively affordable, semi-automatic cutting device that will help you very, very much in your burgeoning business. If you have any other questions regarding the use of the Junior Hot Cutter or anything else that we can help you with in your new strap making business, don't hesitate to drop us an email, get on live chat, or give us a call. We'd be happy to help. Thanks a lot.
Pretty sweet little unit, huh? I love the Junior Hot Cutter. It's a great tool. If you're doing bag straps, or, I know we have a lot of people who make their own leashes and collars. We have a lot of people who make handbags, and you're cutting a lot of webbing. This thing is going to save you so much time and effort, and it's a lot safer. But that doesn't mean you don't have to respect the tool, because it's kind of dangerous too. Alright, here's what I want you to remember about safety. When you're changing your Junior Hot Cutter blade, always unplug the unit. It's the #1 rule. We have other rules too, like don't use it in the shower or while you're intoxicated, because that could be dangerous, and like Tom said, that blade gets pretty darn hot, 1200 degrees Fahrenheit. So you got to be on your toes when you're using it. Well, stand flat-footed, but you know what I mean. So as long as you have safety in mind, you're going to get a lot of production done right there at your own place using the Junior Hot Cutter from Strapworks.com. Thanks for watching. No, it was a little longer video than we usually do, but a lot of information in the video today, so a lot to digest. You might want to watch it a second time just to make sure you got all the little nuances. Alright, plus, I love it when the hit counter goes up on YouTube. Alright, Brooklyn John, see you next Wednesday.
Clear your screen, please.
You have successfully accomplished your task, Dr. Meacham. You've assembled an interocitor, a feat of which few men are capable.